Hey guys, welcome to the Basement Dino Dungeon. Today we have 3 figures to add to our collection. And say hi to Tutu, who is quite scared right now because it is raining outside. Whenever it's raining, Tutu will be here with me in the Dino Dungeon. Okay, so today we will be adding 3 figures. Wow, a new lizard, another new lizard, and a shark right here. So what we are gonna do is to take a look at our reptiles collection right here, which consists of only lizards and crocodiles, and also our sharks collection. Okay, so let's get every single figure out onto the table. Okay, let's do this. Alright guys, let's take a look at this new lizard right here. What is this? Let's have a look. Mwanza flat-headed rock agama. Wow, very cool. Let's rip this open. It seems to be a bearded dragon to me. It's from Safari Ltd, so we definitely get to see and read about this particular reptile. It looks really good. Let's have a look at this. It's basically a wow, Mwanza flat-headed rock agama. This is a very long name, and let's read some facts about this. Wow, this lizard, I can't even remember the name. Due to its red and blue coloration, the lizard resembles a certain comic book superhero. What does it remind you guys of? Spider-Man, that's for sure. Wow, let's take a look at the name again. Mwanza flat-headed rock agama. Wow, very cool. It could be a species of bearded dragon. I'm not too sure, but if you take a look at this, it looks very similar to the bearded dragon, which is right here, guys. So you can take a look. They look extremely similar. Even with the patterns on its body, it definitely looks very similar. The sculpt is exactly the same, but yeah, it could be a species of bearded dragons. I'm not too sure. We'll have a look later on, okay? Next new figure. Let's have a look at this. Also a lizard. Let's try to open this up. It's in a ziplock. Which manufacturer is this from? I can't really remember, but let's have a look. Let's rip this open. It also looks like a bearded dragon to me. Very cool. Let's have a look. Wow, it doesn't have any information, but if you take a look at the body and the head, it definitely looks like a bearded dragon to me. So if you guys know what this is, I want you guys to comment down below what type of lizard is this. Let me know down below. I feel it should be a bearded dragon. I'm not too sure. Okay, next up, we have a purple leopard shark right here. This is not our first leopard shark, that's for sure. We do have plenty of different leopard sharks in our collection, but this is our first purple leopard shark. We're gonna do a comparison with the rest later on, okay? So let me just get this string off. For purple figures, they don't come with any facts, which is quite a pity because I really love the Safari Ltd figures. They come with facts and information, which is really good. So you must remember this. It's a purple leopard shark. Beautiful one, okay? So let's take a look at our reptiles as well as sharks collection, okay? Let's do this. Alright guys, let's carry on, okay? So we have our leopard shark right here, a new figure. Okay, but guess what? Great white shark. We have plenty of great white sharks in our collection, and I want you guys to let me know which shark is your favorite shark of all. For me, it is definitely the great white shark. It's my favorite sea animal since I was young. I also love the megalodon, so I want to hear from you guys which sea animal is your favorite. Right here, we have a megalodon. You can see it has multiple rows of teeth, and they are able to grow back its teeth if they loses them. Okay, very cool. And this one is another species of shark, the sawfish. Some people call them the saw shark. Next, another favorite reptile of mine, besides the crocodiles, I also love the Komodo dragons. Komodo dragons can be found in Indonesia, Sumatra. Okay, and right here we have a crocodile. Crocodiles always reminds me of prehistoric animals like the dinosaurs. Okay, we're gonna do comparison between a crocodile and an alligator later on, and this one is a really beautiful one from Schleich. I think it's the only figure with articulation on the jaw. It's really gorgeous. Here we have a Nile crocodile, beautiful one. Nile crocodile, they have very strong bite force. Okay, next, another crocodile, and this time, this figure is actually the same as the previous one in terms of its coloration. I mean, in terms of the sculpt, just with a different paint scheme. Okay, next up, let's have a look at this. This is basically a fruit. It's a lizard. I'm not too sure what is the exact name, but it's a lizard, that's for sure. Okay, next up. Okay, this one is one of my favorite figures, the Indian Garrier. It has a very narrow snout, as you can see, very unique. And this one, it's a really beautiful one, Iguana. And guess what this is, guys? This is a young iguana. We got this just last week, but it's actually quite an old figure. So we have two iguanas. This one is like a super big one, a huge one. Okay, next up, let's take a look at more sharks. What do we have right here? This is a shark ray. Alright. And this one, it's a megamouth shark. One of the sharks that are very difficult to find. Megamouth shark. And here we have another great white. We have plenty of great white sharks, to be honest with you. Okay, if you guys don't mind, I'm gonna take like some wet tissue paper. If the figure is actually like dirty, I'm just gonna give it a good wipe down. Hope that you guys don't mind, okay? Alright, you should also clean your figures occasionally as well. So right here, we have another great white shark from Safari Ltd. Beautiful one. Next, we take a look at another reptile. We have the white alligator. Beautiful. If you do a comparison right here, this is actually a white crocodile. And let's do a comparison in terms of their snout. You can see this has a triangular snout, whereas this one has a more rectangular snout. So the one with the triangular snout is basically a crocodile. Okay, that is one of the easiest way for you to tell the difference. I love this figure. It's from Peppo. Really well detailed, beautiful figure, gorgeous looking. Okay, let's take a look at one of this, which is probably one of our cutest figures in our collection. Beautiful big eyes right here. This is the fruit neck lizard. Gorgeous one. Next, we take a look at another huge figure. This is a chameleon. Okay, and what is the exact name of this chameleon? Veiled chameleon. It has a long and sticky tongue that allows it to catch like insects very easily. If you take a look at the eyes, they have very unique stripes around the eyes. Plenty of colors as well. Really gorgeous. But speaking of gorgeous, this is one of the most beautiful lizards you can find out there. Gorgeous colors, turquoise, orange, black stripes. Really gorgeous. I like it a lot. This is a collared lizard. Okay. Next, we take a look at another great white. This one was actually sent to us by a Dan Safarian quite some time ago. It doesn't have the most accurate snout because the great white shark definitely does not have such a pointed snout, but still a beautiful figure from Collectate 2015, which is about 9 years old. Next, we have one of the most iconic sharks out there ever. This is the Hammerhead shark. Basically gets its name because the head looks like a hammer. Beautiful figure from Safari Ltd 1991. Oh my goodness, that is a very, very old figure. And take a look at this. This is one of our one and only figure of an oceanic white tip shark. Beautiful. And here we have another Hammerhead shark right here. If I'm not wrong, this is from Safari Ltd. Oh, it's from Schlag. I beg your pardon. Beautiful shark as well. This one, if we do a comparison, you can see they actually look kind of similar, but they are totally different. This is a scallop hammerhead shark. It has some curvature, it has some bumps and curves right here on its head, which is slightly different from the hammerhead shark. It's known as the scallop hammerhead shark. Okay, once again. Okay, next up, let's have a look at this. This is also a leopard shark. So this is actually from Safari Ltd. Whereas this one is from Peppo. Same species, different figures, but they have a lot of similarities in terms of their patterns. Okay, next one. This is a gorgeous one. I can't remember how I actually acquired this figure. Not too sure whether it was sent to me or did I purchase this myself. It is a goblin shark. One of the most hideous looking, scariest looking sharks out there. Okay, they don't look so bad, but when they want to feed on its prey, it will actually extend its mouth into this kind of, what do you call it, a pose. Yeah, it will just basically extend its mouth like this. It looks very, very scary, very intimidating. They can only be found in the deep ocean waters. This is a really, really gorgeous looking figure. Yeah. Next, we take a look at this. This is the gray reef shark, if I'm not wrong. Yep, that's right. Gray reef shark right here. And this one, I have no idea what it is. Some of you guys told me this is a ghost shark. I'm not exactly sure, but it could be a ghost shark. Alright, next we have a nurse shark. It's easily recognizable because it has two huge, I wouldn't say huge, they have two fang-like structures in front of the mouth. Do you guys know what is the function of that? Check it out, Google it, and comment. That's the way for you guys to learn, and let me know down below. You guys should teach me sometimes. Okay, we have a hammerhead shark baby right here. Beautiful one. And this is a thresher shark. I'm not too sure why the color is like fading away, but thresher shark, it's a very, very unique shark. You can see it has a very, very long tail, right? Extremely long tail, and this tail can be used as a whip to stun its prey. So this is why it's known as a thresher shark. It basically thresh out its tail to stun its prey. Next, we have another ferocious looking shark, but it's actually not that ferocious. Okay, it is the basking shark, and the basking shark is actually a filter feeder, which means they only eat small organisms, small little seafood, for example like shrimp, krill. Yep, so they are filter feeders. They basically take in all the water and filter out all the small food particles. Here we have another shark ray, beautiful, gorgeous figure. Next, we have another lizard which looks a little bit like the bearded dragon, but is actually not. You can see it has plenty of spikes. Let's take a look at the name. It is the horned lizard from Safari Ltd 2010 figure. Gorgeous figure, I like it. Okay, next we take a look at one super adorable crocodile. Nope, is actually an alligator. This is actually known as Bernie the Alligator. It is basically the mascot of the brand Safari Ltd. Here we have another veiled chameleon. Okay, I think this is a veiled chameleon baby. Beautiful figure. And here we have two frill neck lizard. You can see this is known as the frill. It is wide open without any provocation. Its frill is basically just sticking to its body, but if they face any predators, they can actually open up this frill to make yourself look bigger and more intimidating. This one is from Collecte, and this one is from Science and Nature. Both are really gorgeous figure. Next we have the horned chameleon. It has two horns in front of his head, which is very unique and special looking, I'd say. Next we take a look at this. What does the stripes remind you of? These stripes, yep, it is known as the tiger shark. Alright, because the stripes on the body makes it look like a tiger. Next, we have another ferocious looking basking shark, and this is a Collecte figure, gorgeous figure, the mouth wide open. And here we have another. Is this a thresher shark? Not really. The tail makes it look a little bit like a thresher shark, but it's not long enough, and it has stripes, so it's actually a tiger shark. Here we have a shark ray, beautiful one. Next, we have a goblin shark, but this goblin shark is not my favorite. My favorite one has got to be this one, which looks very realistic looking. Okay, and here we have another crocodile. Nope, it's not a crocodile, it's an alligator. The snout of it, it's almost rectangular, so it's an alligator. What is this? This is the thorny dragon. This thing right here is actually a false head, so it can actually hide its real head to expose the false head to sort of like distract the users or protect itself. Here we have a Mako shark. Alright, Mako shark, they are very fast swimmers. And here is another shark which looks a little bit like the Mako shark in terms of its color. It is the blue shark. Beautiful blue shark. This is definitely a very cool figure. I'm trying to clean it. This figure is a little bit dusty. Beautiful figure. This looks like a nurse shark, but it is actually a bamboo shark right here. And this is a lemon shark. Basically gets its name from the color of its body. And what else do we have right here? Another tiger shark with beautiful stripes on his body. And here we have a, I'm not too sure, I'm not exactly very sure. I think this could be a pointer shark. Next, we have the short fin Mako shark, which is also an extremely fast swimmer. Beautiful figure. Let me try to clean some of the dirt off. Really gorgeous figure. This is our one and only short fin Mako shark, and it's from Collecte. 2014 figure, 10 years old. Next, we have a bull shark. Bull shark, it's one of the fiercest and most notorious species of sharks out there. There have been more recorded human attacks of a bull shark as compared to a great white shark. This one, I have no idea what it is. This is a wobbegong. Wobbegong is a form of a carpet shark. And this is a beautiful angel shark, our one and only angel shark. I don't have much facts about this, but its body definitely makes it look like a stingray. Very cool. And here we have another sawfish. Beautiful sawfish. This is a beautiful reptile. It's a crested gecko. Gorgeous looking as well. And what do we have right here? I think this is a black tip reef shark. Let's have a look. Yep, black tip reef shark. Gorgeous. And here we have a zebra shark right here. This is a mini bearded dragon from Recur. This is a large bearded dragon. This is, do you guys still remember its name? Still remember? Mwanza flat-headed rock agama. Very, very cool name, definitely. This is a leopard shark or zebra shark. They're basically the same because the patterns were changed from like stripes to spots, so they are the same. This is a bonnet head shark right here. Gorgeous shark. It looks like a hammerhead, but the hammerhead is actually way smaller, way shorter. Scallop hammerhead shark right here. And here is another hammerhead. Seems like we do have quite a few hammerhead sharks in our collection. We have a diver right here, which is very, very cool as well. Megamouth shark. This is our one and only fruit shark. Fruit shark is one of the most prehistoric looking sharks out there. Another pointer shark. This is a beautiful black tip reef shark, I suppose. Crocodile. Gorgeous looking. Trying to put it into the box. We have an American alligator right here. You can see it's standing on its paw with quite a high distance as compared to the crocodiles. Komodo dragon, another one. A bearded dragon. This is a mini one from Schleich. Gorgeous looking. Crocodile. I hope to get a big figure of the marine iguana. It's really hard to find. I'm unable to find any large marine iguana figure, so hopefully I can find one. Alligator baby. Alligator babies are known to have yellow stripes on his body, but when they grow up, the stripes will disappear. This is the wobbegong I was mentioning about, a form of carpet shark. Very cool. Next, we have a sand tiger shark. It looks very, very ferocious, but in fact, it is actually quite a timid species of sharks. Here's another shark figure. This is a small little sawfish. This is white tip reef shark right here. We have the oceanic white tip shark just now, but this one, it's slightly more different. It's a reef shark. And here's one of my very, very old figures of a great white. Let's just try to clean it a little bit. This is a caiman. Caiman. Let's take a look at its name. It's really tiny. Yep, caiman. C-A-I-M-A-N is a very small species of crocodiles. Very cool. And here we have another. It could be a thorny dragon. Crocodile. This is the latest one, the one that we just purchased. So hopefully you guys can tell me what they are. And a couple of small little sharks. Great white. This is a whale shark, which shouldn't be here. Great white. Black tip shark right here. A couple of other sharks that I don't really want to go through because they're very, very small and tiny. So this is basically my collection. Last but not least, we have one right here, which is the salmon shark. Very cool. Alright, thanks for watching this. I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.